And a good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Andy Gregorio here with a video weather update on Hurricane Matthew. At 2 o'clock this afternoon, the eye of Hurricane Matthew is located a little less than 90 miles to the due south of Cuba's east tip. You can see on the satellite picture a very well defined eye. Now, Matthew did make landfall this morning on Haiti over the southern peninsula, and when it did move across the island of Haiti, it did show that the eye became a little bit more cloud filled and less discernible, but now that's not the case. It's back out over water, less friction, warm water temperatures, and the eye is becoming much clearer. Winds continue to be around 145 miles per hour over a very small area right near the center of the storm. Hurricane force winds extend out 60 miles in all directions from the storm, and winds of tropical storm force, or 40 miles per hour, extend out about 180 miles in all directions from the storm. Now, Matthew is expected to move to the north through tonight and then gradually turn north northwest tomorrow, and then northwest by later tomorrow into Thursday and Friday as well. Now, because of that, we do have a lot of tropical storm watches and warnings and hurricane watches and warnings in effect. Let's start it off with the hurricane warnings first. For all of Haiti, hurricane warnings remain in effect. For the eastern third of Cuba, both the north and south coasts, a hurricane warning is up. And for the entire Bahama Islands chain from southeast to northwest, hurricane warnings are up. Tropical storm warnings are up for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Tropical storm warning up for southwestern parts of the Dominican Republic. And now we also have a hurricane watch that has been put into effect for the Florida East Coast from Deerfield Beach south to the Volusia Brevard County line. And we also have a tropical storm watch that is in effect from south of Deerfield Beach to the 7 Mile Bridge, and also for Lake Okeechobee. Here's what we're expecting with Matthew in terms of potential tracks. The forecast models are indicating, as I mentioned, a northerly track basically through tonight into early tomorrow, and then a bend to the northwest, as you can see, getting the system very close to the Florida East Coast along about late Wednesday into Thursday. And then Thursday into Friday, a turn towards the north and northeast, bringing it once again very close to the eastern Carolinas, both North and South Carolina. And then eventually more of a turn towards the northeast, perhaps posing a threat to Long Island and southern and eastern New England, as well as we head into later Saturday into Sunday. Here's the official forecast track from the National Hurricane Center, and I'm going to turn off the other forecast model tracks in a moment. Here we go. Basically, by tonight, the hurricane is expected to make landfall once again over the east tip of Cuba. By Wednesday morning, it'll be in the southeastern Bahamas, still as a Category 4 hurricane with winds of 130, 135 miles per hour, and staying as a major Category 4 hurricane, working its way up the entire Bahamas chain, being over the northwest Bahamas as we work our way into early Thursday morning, 8 o'clock. And then by Friday morning, it looks like Matthew will be located about approximately 100 miles or a little bit less to the east of the Florida East Coast. And then by Saturday morning, a possible landfall of the hurricane right around the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina area. And then by Saturday morning, the storm system is expected to be a Category 1 hurricane, but still a hurricane nonetheless, approximately 200 miles to the south-southwest of Montauk Point, Long Island. Now, folks along the southeastern U.S. coast should definitely heed all advices from local government officials on this storm and any possible evacuation notices that may crop up. And also for folks in the Carolinas, there's a very distinct possibility that you could see some sort of tropical weather watches or warnings being issued by very late tomorrow or Thursday if this forecast track definitely materializes. And for folks across the New England states and the Northeast U.S., you may have some effects from the storm during this upcoming weekend. Now, even if the storm just stays offshore, there will likely be peripheral impacts for the East Coast, namely higher than normal tides, rough surf, beach erosion, dangerous rip currents, and maybe some rather strong winds and tropical rain bands moving into the southeastern U.S. from the Carolinas down through Georgia into Florida, even though winds may not be hurricane or tropical storm force. Again, that's if the system stays offshore. And even up here in the northeastern U.S. on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have a cold front coming in from the west, so we may actually see the possibility for some moisture, not the system itself, but some moisture in the mid and high levels of the atmosphere getting drawn into that cold front as it comes in from the west, and that could enhance rainfall possibilities across the upstate of New York and New England as well over the weekend. So that's something that we'll have to be concerned about. And again, any track further to the west, then we could be looking at more significant rains and maybe even some winds too. But for now, it looks like the system is expected to stay far enough to the south and east to prevent any dire or head-on impacts, if you will, for us. But again, still a lot can happen between now and Friday through Sunday, and definitely we'll have to keep an eye on things for sure. And of course I will too. As time permits, I'll have more video updates for you throughout the day. Thanks for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it.